Welcome to the Lone Star Conference Hoops Week 2024 and the online presentation of Basketball Media Days. On behalf of the Lone Star Conference, I am Ricky Baptist, Sports Information Director at the University of Texas, Permian, Basin. We're joined today by our head women's basketball coach, Ray Booth, graduate student guard, Ab Mundos, and graduate student forward, Morgan Helgeson. Coach, let's start with you. If you could just talk about the Lone Star Conference basketball, talk about the level of competition, preparation for LSC and Division II tournaments, and tradition of Lone Star Conference basketball.
Well, Lone Star Conference basketball is the best conference in the country, arguably. And our goal every year, and this year is no different, is to be competitive in every single game. Us having a really good preseason before we start conference play is really important for us. We open with two pretty solid teams out of the RMAC. So right off the bat in region games. Fortunately for us, we have quite a bit of experience, especially with these two that have been here now, going on their 5th year. They know RMAC, they know Lone Star Conference, and they know how important every game is. So really just us being ready for competition November 8th, and we're working on that every single day. But if we're competitive in our first game, we're going to be pretty good. If we get to that date and we're ready to play, and I believe that we will, we're on track for that with the returners we have and pieces that are coming together every single day. Conference tournament, it seems so far away for us right now. We haven't even talked about that as a team yet this year. I think what our returners know is what they've experienced, and they had a lot of success last year, and they have a taste of what the Lone Star Conference tournament's like, and I know they're hungry to get back there, and they work for that every day.
Coach, if you just can talk a little bit about what the expectations are for you and your team this season.
Yeah, well, I previously mentioned just be competitive in every game. I think that as long as we're competitive, these girls are going to be well prepared and they work hard. So as the pieces, we have them 1 through 5. Our point guard spots are really, really good. I think we have the best point guards right now in the conference. And that gives us a lot of confidence on the court. But we have all the pieces. We have great returners. We have new pieces that have come in, and every day they're fitting in a little bit better. And but we have a ways to go to November 8th. But by then, we want to have a lot of confidence that we are competitive, and then our preparation and repetition and will to just be successful and love for each other will show in the 40 minutes on the court. I also think, last year we had a goal in mind, which was make it to the conference tournament, and our team really exceeded that goal. We haven't talked truly about our goals yet for the season. Our players can speak to that. For us, we have our players set the goals because they're the ones that have to reach them. Our job as coaches is just to support them. So I will say whatever they decide their goal is going to be is what they're going to do. They exceeded that last year, and I have full confidence that they'll do that again.
Okay, so Morgan, question for you. What is the most important aspect of basketball that your team needs to focus on to be able to be successful this season?
I think one of the most important areas that we need to focus on is building our chemistry. We have quite a few returners, but we have people going into new roles this year. We have a couple transfers, a couple freshmen, and I think really just gelling with each other on the court, knowing our strengths and weaknesses, how we can just really connect on the court to make sure that we're all doing the best that we can be and being the best person that we can be on the court.
Our next question is for Av. What non-conference games or tournaments are you most looking forward to this season, and why?
Definitely the first one. A couple factors go into that. It's our first one, especially for Morgan and I. It's our last first one. It's our conference challenge. RMAC, they always do pretty good at starting us off. We start with SD Mines, and we're playing at home this year, so we're starting off right. We've already had a couple people we're ready to see y'all back on the court. So seeing our first home game, that's what we're ready for.
And Morgan, we'll go back to you. How is the team involving itself with the local community and campus?
I think we try to have a really big impact on our community. The community is so much for us, so we try to give back as much as we can. To name a few places that we really go to, we've been going to the food bank the past 2 weeks, just helping out however we can. We help with the Boys and Girls Club when they had hosted their event, do Pink the Basin. We really try to put ourselves out there and help people back the way that they help us. Around campus, we really try to support our fellow athletes. We go to all the different sporting events. We try to make at least one home game. We've been to several women's soccer games, volleyball games. A couple of us are also involved in like extracurriculars around campus, the Success Center, RAs, different things like that. So we just try to put ourselves out there and really like give back to the community the way they give to us.
Okay, Coach Booth, back to you. What have you learned about your team in the off season, and what have you seen with your team through the early season practices so far?
I feel like I've learned a lot of what I already knew. You know, our returners are really, really solid. They started this year in the summer together, so it makes our job as coaches really, really easy when we have a player-led team, and our leadership is really, really good, exceptional. So we just have, I mean, what I already knew, amazing women on this team, amazing buy-in, really a group that gets after it every single day. Probably what I know more now than I did maybe at the beginning is we're really hard critics on ourselves. At the same time, we're really great teammates to everybody else. And I think, you know, less of the hard critics, but when you have that combination, you're going to reach your potential, you know? So I do believe that this team will do just that, because they're going to work hard and they're going to work on themselves every single day, and they're going to support each other. So, kind of what I already knew about the people, but it's a new team. And so it's great to see that repeat itself here, maybe even a little bit better.
And Coach, if you could just talk a little bit about your returning players and which newcomers you expect to help make an impact on the team this season.
Well, we have two great returners right here. I think Av is the best point guard in the Lone Star Conference. Morgan's the best stretch four in the Lone Star Conference. And those two have been consistent. I mean, they've been starters for 4 years for us. So we expect really big things from them. We have Key, who's a return to post player who played behind, in my opinion, the best post player in the Lone Star Conference last year. And she's stepped up significantly. She'll be our starting five, undoubtedly, who has grown her game since last year. I will also say Av has as well. I mean, every returner has, but there was a part of Av's game that she really developed over the summer. So I do think she is the best player for her last year. Key as well. Key's going to be the best player she's been, and she's ready. She's ready for the limelight now, and can carry a lot of responsibility for us down low. Michaela is another returner that's solid. She's been solid for the last 2 years. She's going to be solid for us this year. She just does everything really well. Whatever her position is, whatever her role is, she has some versatility in her skill set. She's going to be great for us. I would say a new player to highlight would be Tasha Rushton. You know, she's 25 points away from 2,000 collegiate career points. We're certainly happy to have her here. She's nice she can play the 1-2. Her and Av will be a really, really good duo together. Another returner that was missed last year is Kamari Portales. She had an injury that she was out with all year long. She's the best she's been as a player, and she's really turned it on here recently. Another player is Buck for us. She didn't get a whole lot of time on the court last year, but she had a great postseason. She had a great summer, and right now she's competing for a starting spot. So she's really turned it up. Another transfer that can shoot the ball really, really well is Nikki Green. She proved that last year, you know, during Lone Star Conference play at a different institution. She's starting to really put the ball in the basket and kind of see her game develop through our system. And sky's the limit for her, but we're just getting started. Definitely a player to watch. But I mean, we have really, really good pieces. Dee Spencer's come a long way. Tamia's as healthy as she's ever been. So we're really going to rely heavily on our players that played last year with a great experience. And Tasha is a great addition that could be on the court for us right now and will look like she was there last year. You know, so she does look like a returner. And so we expect really, really big things from her.
All right, and that wraps it up. Thank you to Coach Booth, Av, and Morgan, and good luck this season.
Thank you.